Mr. Armstrong, can you hear us?
I'm here.
That's what we wanted to know. Tell me about Mr. Porter.
Yes, Your Honor. Stanley Keith Porter is an individual who is currently in the Fulton County Jail for child molestation charges. He has two sets of child molestation charges from previous indictments, one of which is improperly on the Rule 39.3.1 list. He was charged in a 2000 indictment. And the case was re-indicted under an 01 indictment. And so the 2000 indictment was dead docketed, and he was convicted under the 2001 indictment, and that conviction stands. And so the state will be filing a motion to null pros the 2000 indictment rather than dead docket, so it can resolve all of the pending issues for the 2001. And then I will have two proposed orders for the court, one to grant the null pros and one to administratively close the 2000 indictment for the Rule 39.3.1 list.
So that'll close everything.
Yes, and I will submit those to I will file that on Monday and submit the orders to the court on Monday, because the substantive issues took place in the 2001 indictment. He was convicted in that case on that indictment. And so those are the exact same charges, the 2000 and 2001 indictments. So the 2001 just needs to be null prost.
All right, that sounds fine. And the defendant is under sentence for the Department of Corrections?
I think he's actually served his sentence. He's currently in the Fulton County Jail on new child molestation charges. And so he's currently being held without bond because this will be his third conviction for child molestation. And so that's he's in jail for a completely separate reason. I don't believe he's in the custody of the Department of Corrections.
Okay, all right, we'll handle it that way.
And I'll just note for the record that it appears that Mr. Porter is physically present in court and standing at the podium.
All right, Mr. Porter, you're excused.
That concludes my business this morning. May I be excused?
Certainly. Have a great weekend.
You as well.
All right, what's next, please?
District 1, State versus Jaron Ware.
Ms. Rockwell?
Yes, sir.
Let's bring out Mr. Ware, please.
Can I approach with Madam Prosecutor?
You may.
I'm being honest. We're getting ready to start a motion. We're not gonna interrupt the motion.
I go back here and make it.
And we don't have to vote for it. Okay, we got a feeling. What you want me to do for you? What can I do for you? Not care. No. I'm gonna go to Italy. Go to Italy. They sign off.
All right, would the state please tell us the alleged facts?
Yes, Your Honor. Briefly, this incident occurred August 4th, 2022. There were shots fired at Columbia Commons apartment complex. It's right across the street from an AutoZone. Several witnesses noticed the shots and it was multiple 911 calls. About an hour later, there was another call from a person injured. There was the decedent, who was also the maintenance man at the apartment complex, who was inside of a utility closet at the time those shots were fired, was struck by a stray bullet. The incident was, after further investigation by APD, it was revealed that this incident occurred, because of a relationship with unrelated people in the apartment complex. So at the time, the victim the victim was completely unknown to the defendant. It was an innocent bystander who was caught in the crossfire of like a love triangle between the defendant, who was told by his girlfriend that someone in the apartment complex had raped her. It was later found out that they engaged in a sexual relationship with someone she went to high school with at the time. But he went to retaliate and shot up the apartment complex. And the maintenance man, who was the decedent, was struck in the crossfire of this incident.
What is the defendant's record?
He has no criminal history at the time. He has no criminal convictions. I can say that. He does have two open cases. One out of Fulton County and one out of DeKalb County.
What are those?
One is a theft by taking, and the other is just a drug charge.
Is there any evidence he's in a gang?
That was the reason that we were coming back at this time. There is no evidence, at least an APD gangs database or anything that was run, that there's no evidence at this time of any gang relation.
That was thoroughly investigated.
That was by APD at the time.
How old is he, Miss Rockwell?
18, Judge.
We do have the victim's family, his daughter's president, would like to give a statement as well. She'd like to be heard.
Would the victim's daughter please come forward? I'm very sorry for your loss. You have my deepest sympathy.
Thank you.
And I want you to understand that nothing that happens here is to minimize your loss and your grief. Would you please remove your mask and tell me what you want to tell me? Please tell me your name. You're the daughter?
Brianna Walden, Sharon Wade's daughter.
Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to say I'm hoping for a denied bond, just simply because we are not in peace, but we have some type of sense of peace with what's going on right now. And I just, right now it's just me and my brothers, and we have been lost and hurting because of this. And my family and my friends have been hurting because of this. And I'm just hoping for you to deny the bond.
God bless you. You have my deepest sympathy for your loss. Ms. Rockwell?
And Your Honor, obviously, we are in agreement, but this is a very, very serious and tragic matter. Also, Judge, for the record, Mr. Ware is innocent until proven guilty. I don't have to say that. I know that does not fall on deaf ears. And for the record, I would ask his family to stand up, please. His support group and his mother and his grandmother, etc. Judge, for the record, thank you. You can sit down, please. He was born in Riverdale, attended Mays High School, was always a good student, graduated in May of 2022. Then is presently signed up for Gordon State College, where he's studying business. He entered the fall semester in August of 2022, and will be living, if allowed to go back to school, and maybe he won't be allowed to go back to school, but was living in the dorm called The Village, which is on the campus of Gordon State. Whenever he is not in school, he works at Papa John's from 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. to get money for his books. On days, some days he even tries to pull a double. If I can tell you that I expect that he will continue to make good grades if allowed to go back to college. This is a very new case, Judge. There's a lot of investigation that needs to be done, particularly firearms research, the fact that there may be more than one person that needs to be arrested in this matter. We don't know the trajectories, etc. There was, as I understand it, gunfire being exchanged.
Do you have evidence?
I don't have.
Does the state have evidence there was multiple gunfire?
No, Your Honor, there were 12 shell casings picked up from the location. All of them were from the same weapon.
And Judge, just to respond, if somebody is shooting a firearm that's an automatic firearm or semi-automatic firearm, you will see a shell casing. If they're shooting a firearm, for example, a pistol, you're not going to see a shell case.
What evidence do you have that there was multiple weapons being used?
Well, multiple, just the investigation that I've done as far as talking to individuals regarding what allegedly was going on that day.
This is about as senseless of a killing as I've ever seen.
I understand. And what you will see, Judge, is that the victim, the allegation is that the victim was hit by a stray bullet. So.
Well, when you have 12 casings, you're going to have a lot of stray bullets.
I understand. And I don't know if I can say with any kind of clarity that they're going to be able to relate the shooting, the firearm, it's just everything is so brand new right now and so much in an initial stage. What we have is a family asking Your Honor to allow him to be released. He can be made to wear an ankle monitor. He can have a curfew. He can go to home, work in church, in school, or not go to school at all. If there was
Did he live in this apartment complex?
no, sir.
But he he had a girlfriend that claimed somebody raped her over there. But in fact, the woman had a consensual relationship with somebody she went to high school with.
Yes, Your Honor. There were also phone calls made to this particular person, to the person that the girlfriend had relations with. The defendant was making calls to this particular person around the time of the shooting, and his cell phone places him in that location as well.
But again, Judge, in response, that does not put a gun in his hand. That does not explain, and the state cannot at this point. And I know the facts are not important, Judge. What's important is whether or not he's going to come back to court, whether or not you can provide a bond with conditions that'll satisfy you that he's not going to do anything except what you tell him to do.
I mean,
Home,
is
work,
the college in Barnesville going to take him back with a pending murder case? I highly doubt that.
Yes, ma'am.
They said he would have to meet with the dean first, but he was gonna try to get in Kennesaw State, the state local.
I doubt Kennesaw State's going to take somebody with a pending murder charge.
Well, Judge, I mean,
Where does he live if he's living in Atlanta?
He's gonna be in Dunwoody. Roswell, Dunwoody, it's Roswell, I'm sorry. in Roswell.
and Judge, you can make him stay out of the downtown area.
Where is this incident location?
It's on Martin Luther King.
You want to put the location on the record, Your Honor?
Will counsel approach, please? I mean,
I know you did.
How family members so much.
and here's what we're going to do.
As it's listed in the indictment.
Can you tell me the charges in the indictment?
One is murder. Count 2 is felony murder. Counts 3 and 5 is aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. And then count 6 is possession of a firearm.
The only difference here is the second one is felony murder.
Yes.
In the system of justice in the United States of America, a person is deemed to be innocent until proven guilty. And the facts of the case are not necessarily what's considered with bond, the intimidation of witnesses, flight risk, able to commit more violent felonies, things like that are what are considered. And it's very rare, but not impossible to get a bond in a murder case. And nothing I'm doing minimizes the loss of this family and the grieving of this family of the loss of their beloved loved one. But this is about as senseless of a murder as I've ever seen in 27 years on the bench. I've told the lawyer, Ms. Rockwell, her credibility is with the court. She's put her reputation on the line with this court. And I understand the family doesn't want a bond, but I'm made sure that he was not in a gang, because if he was, I wouldn't give him a bond. And I made sure that he doesn't have any further violent felonies. And so I'm going to set bond at $30,000 each on the murders, plus that's 60,000 plus 10,000 on each of the others for a total $100,000, 24-hour house arrest and house confinement and an ankle monitor to be paid for by the county. And one misstep, Mr. Ware, and this bond will be revoked. Do you understand me? All right. He's not going to be in school. He's not going to work. And what's the address where he's going to live?
Roswell Cummins Way, Roswell, Georgia, 376. I'm not sure who he's residing with.
And absolutely no contact with anybody involved in the case. Who's he going to reside with?
My uncle, Jason Robinson.
All right. Next case.
Your Honor, may I have a
Phone
second,
number?
You may. So you want to go do that?
please?
Supervised by pretrial, the highest level of supervision.
Step off the bench for a second. Okay, he's gone. You're gonna go see him. Okay. We'll go to his house. Okay. Y'all just stay right there. Y'all get to stay right there. You're not going anywhere.
I need a phone number for Jason Robinson.
Hold on one second. Yeah, we kept them right there. I'll get it.
Okay.
I've been warned.
Hey,
Hard and nothing in that house. Nothing.
Yes, sir.
I mean, the wrong way, I done lost that building. We've been friends.
Okay, can I, do we know? I was hoping that I would be able to. I didn't need to talk to you. I didn't go forward today.
Okay. Okay, let me go. I'm gonna give it to
So
the.
we need to go forward today. Jay, the officer, professional training. If I could talk to him.
You can just
He,
say.
April, go
To the jury room, we're not gonna do it. Yeah, but I can't, I'm busy right now.
All right.
Okay. Ma'am, you can get on this paper bag, you need to hang out for about 10 minutes. You two would right with.
Judge, you.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
mean, Judge, Woods. Remember he said,
I got 10% I got leverage supervision, 24-hour curfew, no contact with the victim's family or witnesses. I mean, no contact means social media, third parties. You just explain to them what. Yeah, you're out there.
I took that driver's license, and I did it right.
Definitely moving.
Y'all aren't leaving, just, y'all aren't leaving, just have a seat and relax.
How you doing?
She's not ready yet. Oh, no, okay, Ms. Martin, you got what, everything, but definitely ready for them to go.
Everybody need to see up on my flat man.
Me.
I know this, everybody need to see.
I can't go, I need to go somewhere where I can.
Okay,
Be
well, come
quiet.
back. Okay, when you're done, you go to use the jury room. Okay, I can come back and see, I need to talk to you about it.
Is it Frederick?
No, it's something else. I need to. I'm here all day.
Can y'all just wait for me right there, not get arrested?
This crowd is going.
That's what it's. Okay, you just come back and see.
But then,
Yes.
which one?
It's down, we're talking about here, it's close.
I called him, I told him that. Will you send me a Zoom letter or is it this time? April? Yes, just emails, right?
Would.
Oh, I'm here, Zoom link too. I'm finding out it's on here, over. I got it here, over, OB. And FEMI, he might be, 2:00. He better do like. Here too, okay.
No, you got a case where.
Okay, that's what I'm on.
Okay, on mute.
I don't know, they let the call.
I know they're not okay, but they are. Hargit. Just, is it just one? I know it's a co-defendant, I'm asking because Ms. Hemingway is not.
Oh, yeah.
Are you participating in the motion?
Yes.
You're sitting at the table with him. You're joining in her motion.
Yes.
I just,
There's no statements made by,
that's why I'm
so,
asking.
so I don't understand what's happening.
Like for him to be present.
You want your client to be present
Yeah,
for the hearing. Okay, well, if you don't say that, we don't know.
okay.
So she wants her client out as well.
And so are they co-defendants?
Yes, Judge, they are.
Hargit and,
Target and, is it Carruthers?
is Hargit under two different indictments for murder?
Yes, Your Honor, but one is re-indicted to add the co-defendant, so we'll be, null processing the 22 SC 183352.
Okay, that's, null pros.
Yes, sir.
Who is this, attorney?
This is Hargit.
He's
He's
your
my client.
Okay. I need attorney, client, attorney. client.
Your Honor, before we do this, can we approach?
You may.
So the other guy's your client. It's her. Okay, so you're gonna have to sit in the back or you gotta find another seat. Okay.
We can go to the jury room.
So we're in Rika's Hargit is he the one that gave?
There's one that you want to bring up.
Please.
What's It's true.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
First. Yeah.
Quiet. We're trying to see Sergeant.
I agree.
Who you with her?
Yes.
Okay, so she's gonna have to sit right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we have an extra seat, you can sit on that side. Okay.
Alright. Alright, you should, looking over these. This part for second statement. But your mom.
You enjoy your vacation? You enjoy your vacation?
I wouldn't say. Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, you make it have this.
But I didn't intend to. I didn't.
So basically, 4 interviews.
Right.
You want 2 and 3. You want them all. Definitely one's out. I'd like to see before we have this hearing. Then he's. Is he going to do it?
It'd be better to say things so that. That one.
All right, so it's gonna be, you. Client. Incur.
I do, yes.
I think you're very good at that. And basically. Let's see.
I'll be gonna read that.
Let me ask you. Do you have a right to have a parent present, even if you're underage, or do you have to be told you have that?
Yes, it is. It could, I mean, I have case file report and as well, the rising factors that recently overturned this year, 2023, this year, was the totality of the circumstance there.
So you have, so they don't ask for a parent.
Apparently.
Like, can you, if we have kids here, can you get to the pertinent part of the videos? So, I think this is like, more some out.
Yes. Very strong.
Yeah. And this-
Cell phone needs to be placed on silent.
Can they do what? You probably need to get them involved and get them
Can,
standing.
one of them is-
You know, they can't, I got one.
Can this sheriff please with
Walker. Decisions for law enforcement.
You just don't know it.
Take this. There's a good change. What you're telling me might suppress all after knowing it higher. You got it. Just, you know.
I guess.
Let's do, we have a hearing in 60 days. We have a vote. Okay. And I think that you.